Hi, welcome back to the Finley Formation. This is Brandon.
This is Gage.
And this is Jared.
All right, we got Jared back this week. And I was going to hit you up with the Wolf of Wall Street reference, but I didn't know if you've seen that movie
I
last
haven't,
week.
no.
Oh, man, there's that part where what's his name? He used to be really fat, Jonah Hill.
Mm-hmm.
He's in there, and they're waiting for this new, they're doing this new stock up, release thing on that day. They see one of the guys over there cleaning his goldfish bowl. And Jonah Hill goes off on him. He's like, "You clean your goldfish bowl on new issue day? On new issue day?" And then he eats a goldfish.
I know.
So, but
I know. I was like, I walked over to my buddy's house because I got there pretty early. It was like 9 o'clock, and like he had everything scattered out in his garage, and I was like, "Oh no!" And I didn't get home probably till like 6:30, 7 o'clock. It was like, "Yeah, dude, this took way too long."
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna do the same thing, on podcasting day, and then I'd probably just drink your Cascade or something. But I didn't know if you'd get the reference. But
no, I wouldn't have.
Yeah, you got to help your buddy out. But
yeah, Jared's too much of a good two shoes to watch Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah,
too bad.
Yeah, put the kids to bed before you watch that thing,
dude. Well, that's a bad thing. I put the kids to bed and then I go to bed. So there's not a lot of movies going on in my days.
Right. Okay. Well, you didn't get to watch much football this last weekend either, did you? But
no. So like, just to kind of talk about, we all are. I'm in one of your guys' fantasy leagues, and to kind of like, so I work like 2 Sundays in a row, and then I'm off for 2 Sunday or 2 weekends in a row, so I don't get to watch a whole lot of football in those 2 Sundays. But to go back to our fantasy league, I was winning like 141 to like 136 going in that final drive, and whoever I was playing, your brother, right? It's your brother, and he has Mark Andrews, and to my defense, in Mark Andrews' first 2 games, he had a combined 2.9 points. And I wasn't even watching the games because I was like, dude, it's over. So I stopped watching it when it was like 3rd and 15 after he took that sack or whatever Lamar did. And I was like, dude, it's over. I'm going to win. Mm-hmm. Whatever, Ravens are going to lose. And then I got that text message. I was like, what the hell is Brandon talking about? So I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Like the one thing that cannot happen is him catching another touchdown pass. So good for him. That's the fun thing about fantasy football.
Yeah, that was wild.
You start, going down the Monday Night Football with 2 players and I think it's fun.
And you had Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And you were up by a lot. And then he had to, Derrick Henry if he just didn't fumble, a lot of things go differently for you. But, that was pretty crazy. That was probably the craziest comeback I'd seen.
Yeah.
They had him at a 1% chance the whole time up until that actually happened.
That's the only thing you could have done was catch a touchdown pass to beat me. And he ended up doing it. So that's fun. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, imagine not being undefeated.
You guys don't know.
Yeah, we don't know how that goes.
Yeah. Good for you guys. I'm glad it's you guys though, and not like Brady or somebody.
Yeah, hell with them guys, man. All right, so it was a crazy week though. Dude, it was a tough week to like pick games, to see games. The way they were going, I was really shocked. Like we were talking right before, I've never seen that many blocked field goals in a weekend, let alone like we said during the early window.
Right.
It was crazy. It was watching the red zone was just blocked field goal, and like we were talking the one game, the Rams Eagles, they just blocked each other's field goals, and then finally the Eagles ran one back. But it was crazy. I've never seen any weekend like that with the special teams issues that they were having.
Just an extra tidbit for that blocked field goal too. Jalen Carter blocked it, covered it. And at 336 pounds, hit 18.95 miles per hour on the return.
Yep.
Get off the tracks if he's in the way, man. Holy
cow.
I think he's been one of my like pleasant surprises this year because I think the previous 2 years he was more just like a role player coming in on like certain situations, and he wasn't a starter because you had that Milton Williams and Jalen Carter, so he would come in and just be a backup. But he's started this year, and I think he's kind of been pretty impressive. With how he's been playing, because I don't think Jalen Carter's been playing that great. Obviously, he got suspended before the first game even started. So, but I don't think he's kind of stood out. So it's been kind of a pleasant surprise, I think, probably for the Eagles that he's kind of taken over a little bit on that defensive line.
Yeah, for sure. And that game was crazy. I thought it was done. I thought they were going to win that one. Rams are looking good. They looked good that whole game. They were going against a good defense, and that offense was just clicking still.
Yep.
They're able to run the ball better this year, it seems like, and their passing is obviously on point for the most part. But yeah, just special teams issues there at the end and got that block, and that's what lost it for them.
Well, I think the Eagles finally found out they have another chapter to their playbook that involves passing down the field,
Yeah.
because they only had 38 yards of total offense in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden, Jalen Hurts ends up with like 250 yards passing because he actually decided to throw it past 10 yards
Right.
to his good receivers.
Yeah, you actually
Yeah.
got the A.J. Brown do a few
Yeah,
things.
that's weird, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
The biggest surprises to me, it was just like some of the scores. Obviously, Panthers and Falcons 30-0.
Yeah.
If you would have told me like the Panthers were going to squeak out a win, like last second field goal or something like that, and win, I was like, okay, I could see that happening. But when I pulled up the score and I was like 30-0, what the hell went wrong? You know what I mean? And then Browns Packers, that was
Yeah.
kind of surprising to me. It kind of seemed, just kind of like looking at the box score, Packers being up 10-0 in the fourth quarter. I don't know if they just get in that cruise control mode and kind of get off the pedals. But Browns, we kind of talked about in the offseason, dude. They have such a good defense that'll keep them in games.
Mm-hmm.
Even last week when they played the Ravens, when it was 41-10 or something like that,
Yeah.
they had 100 more yards than the Ravens. They had like 4 or 5 more first downs. They ran more plays, and so they pretty much outplayed them. Just
Mhm.
not on the scoreboard. I
Yeah,
mean, it was-
they can't
No.
get the scores.
No.
I
Yeah.
think they had like a -3 in the turnover ratio
Yeah.
though.
yeah,
against
I
the
think
Ravens,
that's what
which
it
is why
was.
they
Yeah,
lost.
yep,
So you just gave the Ravens really good field position. You do that with any team, you're going to give them points. So,
right.
Yeah, I think they're clearly the best defense in the league right now.
Oh yeah, that's
mean, hands
that's what
down.
I've been saying since the start of the year.
Yeah,
Mhm.
They are
it's
the best
crazy how
defense,
good they are.
Mhm.
So
and it makes it really hard not to pick them every week. Like
Yep.
I finally, first 2 weeks I picked the
know.
Browns. Finally chose against the Browns, and then that defense says, "Hey, kiss
Right.
my ass. We're going to go win now."
Yep, heck yeah.
yeah, what was I going to say? Oh man, and then one that still shocks me is the Colts still rolling.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, they just still keep getting it done. I think who they ended up beating last week.
It was the Titans.
Okay,
they
so that
beat
one
the hell
wasn't
out of the
so
Titans.
much of a shock, but it's still
They're still rolling. Yeah,
Yeah,
they won 41-20. So
yeah, and it's like Freaky Friday, man. With them and the Texans,
Mhm.
like they should be swapped. I feel like the Texans should be 3-0, and they should be,
Yep.
Colts should be 0-3, but the Texans look like shit.
Oh.
You
Yeah.
shush. Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I think looking at this, going on to a different game. Sorry, but
No, you're all right.
one that's like looking at the scoreboard, it makes sense. That's the Chiefs Giants. But if you actually watch the game, that one was really like I
Mhm.
picked the Giants because I hate the Chiefs, but I still expected it to be like a dominating win if the Chiefs did win.
Yeah.
And they won by 13. But if you actually watch the game, it only felt like it was a 5-point win because it
Right.
didn't seem like the Chiefs didn't play well. The Giants just played that shit. Is
Mhm.
kind of how it was.
Yeah, those moon balls were just landing in the wrong places this time. He was
Yeah.
underthrowing a lot, I think.
Mhm.
The Chiefs to me just seem like their whole offense, everything they seem to be doing this year is the same as it was last year, but now they're just trudging through mud, it seems like.
Yeah.
Everything's just not happening for them. They're just slow. Even though I expect them to get that win, it was still not pretty. It
No.
wasn't, it wasn't a good win. It was just, you look at them and they're, I don't know, like you were just saying, they didn't really beat the brakes off of a team they should have.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's why I picked the Giants. And if Russell played a somewhat decent game at all,
Yeah.
they would have won it. So I'm still not mad I picked them. I don't think it was
Yeah.
a bad call, especially after watching it. I don't think it was a bad call at all to say the Giants could have won it.
Yeah, I mean, even if they would have played good, maybe there was still some Mahomes magic there. But yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you that they had a chance. They had their
Mhm.
chances in that game.
Yeah.
And it was crazy listening to that crowd call for Dart already, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they're wanting him
I
back.
think it came. Did it already come out that Russell's getting benched and Dart's starting
Yep.
this week?
I thought the Bull left it at like an open,
Oh, did they?
said that it was a battle.
Oh, really? Well,
I thought that's what I seen.
I
but that was early
saw
on,
straight
too.
up he was benched and they were going with Jackson. But I mean, I would go with Jackson already too. I think they were in a game with the Cowboys, which now doesn't really say too much now
Yep.
that you see them getting beat up by the Bears.
I think I said it week 1. The Cowboys are the Bengals of the NFC, man.
Yeah, dude, they've let me down so hard because
Oh,
I thought they were going to be a decent
So
team.
did
I
I.
mean, course, we did all that before the Micah Parsons trade.
Right.
And even then, though, even with Micah Parsons, I don't think this team is that great.
No.
It's their offense is not clicking. Of course, they went without CeeDee Lamb for a lot of that game the other day, but
I think that's why you make that trade for George Pickens too, and George Pickens really hasn't done anything this year, which has been kind of surprising.
Yeah. It was a crazy week. Did you look that up?
Yeah, he is the confirmed starter.
Yeah.
Like I said, I seen it way early on. I think it was like after the game in his post interview. He's like, yeah, I'm going to leave it open to a battle this week. But, I mean, I don't know. I still like sitting your first round guy. So I wish Russell Wilson didn't make it so obvious that he needed a bench. So Stark could have played
that soon.
Sat a bit longer. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's bad. And if you feel like Dart can give you any chance to win this season, you got to put him in now because 0-3 is tough to come back.
Right.
But if he comes out and he loses 2 straight, I'd say, even if it's not his fault, I say you throw him back on the bench and like just don't give him that Bryce Young treatment where you're just destroying his confidence for a couple of years. Like,
yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah.
So if he comes out and they're still not winning, I think you just put him back on the bench and you let Russell go shit the bed.
Well, as long as he's not getting his ass kicked, then I think it's good experience. But if he's just getting beat up, that offensive line isn't protecting him. I agree with that. But it's good experience if he's not getting, his ass whooped every week and taking the David Carr treatment or.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another team I was thinking about because I was listening to doing some quality control on our last episode, and heard us talking about the Broncos a little bit. They're still an enigma, dude. What is going on with these guys? Their defense could not close out that game again. And Chargers marched back down the field and kicked field goal to win it.
The Chargers are also just like a good team too. So I know the way we talk about the Broncos, we shouldn't have to see them play against a bad team. That could be a huge thing to get them to gel together finally. Is play a team, an easy team. So
yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, they had the Titans, and they just didn't look good against them either, though.
Yeah.
So that's been their only win. I think the biggest thing is just their defense. I'm not impressed, and I was really high on their defense. I didn't realize that Drake Greenlaw had been out. I thought he got hurt.
I don't think he's played this year.
Yeah, he hasn't, and they got him on IR. And I didn't realize that. I knew that he was out for the second game, I think it was, but I didn't realize that he's out this whole time. And that makes a big difference when you're without a starting linebacker.
Yep.
But they still should be better than what they are. And they're just not gelling on offense at all. It looks ugly down there from a team that really I thought took a step. One of those teams that took a step forward in the offseason. I thought they got better on paper. They're not playing like it. I feel like that was a win they could have had this weekend, and they should have beat the Colts for sure.
Right.
So.
Well, you can't say for sure because right now the Colts are looking like
that
Super Bowl
is true. Yeah,
champs.
that is true.
Yeah, I just feel like they still had a chance to win it in that game.
Yeah, they did have a chance in that game.
But you're right. I mean, the Colts are playing lights out, which is just insane to see this. Yep. And it's really crazy to see Daniel Jones with all the time he has.
Yeah.
So
one thing to mention with the Broncos, like you're saying though, if they get, it just shows how good Hufanga is. He was in a stacked defense. Went to a less stacked personnel defense with maybe a better coordinator, however you want to look at it. But Hufanga's now tied for leading tackler on the Broncos.
Yeah.
He has 27 tackles in 3 games.
That's crazy.
He's all over the field. He's flying around. I think
he plays down in the box quite a bit too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's good, yeah. Yeah, that's disappointing. I mean, you kind of look at the Dre Greenlaw trade now in hindsight. I mean, obviously the Niners couldn't predict that he wouldn't be playing right now, but I mean the move, we talked about it 2 weeks ago with D. Winter stepping in and how well he's been kind of playing, but not to pay Drew Greenlaw that $10 million a year or whatever he's making with the Broncos and put in D. Winters. It's kind of looking like a good decision so far.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
as much as we
would have paid Hufanga.
Yeah, but I mean that's where they're kind of hurting right now is their safety because Mustafa's out, and I guess I don't know when he's supposed to even come back because he tore his ACL at the end of the year. So
I think he's week 6 return.
Is he?
I think he's coming back with IU.
Yeah, I mean that was another big thing coming out of this week too, was the injuries. They lost a lot of good guys. I know CeeDee Lamb isn't out for I don't know how long he's out for. But it's a big injury, I think. Bosa, huge injury again.
James Conner snapped his leg in half.
Yeah.
Watched that real time.
Yeah, 2 big injuries in that game. Yep.
Yeah, that was nasty. There was another one too that I seen, and I can't remember, but it just seems like it seems we talked about this last year on this podcast too. It does seem like those injuries are worse now than they've ever have been, and I don't know what's going on. We kind of took it up to I don't know if it's they're not prepared going into the season for all the going full speed and going full bore like they used to be. But it does seem like injuries are amount up a lot quicker. And I know people are going out with like more minor injuries than they used to as well. And with the concussion protocol, which is a good thing, that also sidelines
Right.
guys. But man, it's like, dude, we can't even get a break. Especially like you called them the San Francisco IRs.
The IRs, yeah.
Yeah, Niners can't get a break.
No.
Going to be the first, the most injured team again.
Yeah, I think we're getting two players back this week though. We get Brock back.
Demarcus Robinson comes back.
Demarcus Robinson,
which would
and
help
so
that
maybe
receiving
That
room.
was suspension, right?
Yeah. And then I think Jennings didn't play last week, right? So he
No.
should. I think maybe. I don't know if he's practicing or not.
Yeah,
But
And then I
questionable
think-
again.
that rookie running back who hasn't played a snap yet, Jordan James. I think he's supposed to be
yeah.
back too. So
Yep.
they're getting a lot of health back, even though they lost a star player.
It won't matter if we get that running back out there, man. He ain't going to see the field. They don't
No
take
shit,
No,
McCaffrey off there.
We've talked about it. Shanahan rides the hot
Yeah.
hand, and
Dude, I think Robinson had like 4 or 5 carries. He might have been out there like 10, 12 plays the
Yep.
whole time.
Yeah.
So one scare that I thought was actually ended up being a good game, and we all thought it was going to be kind of a blowout, was that Dolphins-Bills game on Thursday night.
in my defense, I listened to the podcast last week. When you guys were announcing my score of, I think it was 20-30. You were like, I don't know what Jared's smoking. I was like, hey, man, I almost freaking
It
knocked
was
it on the
close.
dot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not sold on the Bills' defense yet. I don't know. I think they're good. I just don't think they're great.
I wasn't sold on their defense. I was sold on Josh Allen being able to keep the ball away from their offense.
Right. Yeah.
Was kind of why I was expecting the Dolphins to not score much.
Yeah.
And Tua just really likes throwing to the other team.
He does.
So,
Yep. Yeah. Miss opportune times too. It's just
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? dude?
Yeah.
Holy cow! It's like
Choke
a
artist.
1-score game, and you're just here. You go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just cannot figure it out. They actually looked really good in
They
that
did.
game.
Yeah.
Their defense finally got a couple of stops there, and then he comes out and throws that pick, and then not to mention the punt. They got the Bills down to a punt, and Sealer just wiped out the punter.
Yep.
And so, I mean, after that, it was like Josh Allen marched down the field, but even then, they still kept themselves in it enough to have a chance. But yeah, I don't know what Tua was doing. That was like a no-look pass thing he had going on.
Yeah.
It was ugly. So, all right, but our game of the week this week, we're going to go into the Bucks and the Jets, which also had one of our blocked field goals in it. We got to mention after that blocked field goal, I got to talk about it right at the top, was Aaron Glenn's little dance down the sideline.
I did see that. Yeah.
Man, in real time, I'm sitting there going, "Whoa, look at that dude! He is happy." And I'm sure he thought he had a win
Right.
at that point because he was just, running down the sideline, then just started stomping his feet and doing a little dance. It was pretty awesome. I mean, it kind of sucks, hindsight that they ended up losing the game.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man. But I mean, just for Aaron Glenn, I don't care about the Jets so much, but but it was a great game. I mean, I feel like Jets. Wow, Tyrod Taylor come back in second half of the third quarter and fourth quarter, come back, brought him back in it. I thought they were dead and gone.
Tyrod looked better than Baker
Oh, in that second half.
in the
Yeah.
game. I mean, I just put up the box score, and Tyrod went for 197, 2 touchdowns, and an interception, and Mayfield was 233 with 1 touchdown.
Yeah,
That was it.
and
So
I
he
think
didn't
those
do
2
enough.
touchdowns came in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
And so, they did all that just to bring him back, and it was clutch. It was pretty good. They should have won that game. But if you remember right, the beginning of the season and when we came to the Bucks, I said I didn't like their defense. Their defense was suspect,
Yep.
and I think that has something to do with it. They are in nail biters because their offense has been having to win the game at the last drive.
Baker's 3 for 3 on game-winning drives. So
Yep.
the first 3 games of the season, he's led a drive down the field to win it at the end of the
Yep.
game. To where, the funny thing about the Jets is, they're in a close game with the Steelers week 1, so we're like, oh, the Jets team might be back, and then they get blown out. week 2 by the Bills, and it's like, okay, same old Jets, and now they're in a freaking dogfight with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it's like, oh, are the Jets back?
Yeah, what are we
Yeah.
getting? Yeah.
Well, the Bucks just don't win by big anyways.
No, yeah.
They won, 20-19 against the Falcons, who just got blown out by the Panthers.
Yeah.
They're just close and everything. So
Yeah.
Just that was the NFC South, just kind of a wonky division, I guess,
Yeah.
this year. I don't know, just weird.
mhm.
Yeah, and I think like you just said, Mayfield, he just keeps finding ways to get it done.
Mhm.
And you kind of look even at the Texans, who I still feel have a pretty good defense. He did it against their defense.
Yeah.
This time it was against the Jets, who I'm not big on their defense at all this year. I thought they were going to be better than
Yeah.
that a little bit, but they're not. They just they've been giving up a lot of points to whoever.
Mhm.
Which is just the plain old Jets. Like I've been saying ever since Aaron Rodgers went there, they got hype up. They're just not.
Yeah, Jets.
They're got a couple good players. They have no role players worth of shit. They have
Yeah.
a couple of stars, and they try to lean on them too hard.
Yeah, I think when we did the team preview during the off season, you and I were actually like pretty high on like, hey, they actually like got named players. Like we were pretty high on their roster
Mhm.
overall. And Gage was always like, I
don't like it.
see it. And I mean, he's kind of proved us right.
Kind of right. I mean, Garrett Wilson looked damn
Right.
good.
he's
uh,
been having a pretty decent year.
So going forward after this game, which Tyrod Taylor they got down early, which doesn't bode well for any team, but he was able to bring them back.
Mhm.
Do you going forward? Do you go with Tyrod even if Justin Fields is healthy?
Yes.
I think so.
I think Fields just had such a rough go at it, but he's still a younger quarterback. At least Tyrod brings veteran experience to the field. So I think that helps out a lot. The fact that he's 32, 33, he's been around the game for 13 years now. I think that adds so much to the game that Fields just can't add.
Right.
I think they're about the same skill level. Tyrod's just
And you're not breaking the bank with Fields. I think he signed like a 2-year, what was it, $40 million, so 20 years. So he's bottom half of starters probably that aren't rookies.
yeah.
So it's just not like you're, married to the guy to where you're like have to start him. He's not like getting paid $50 million. Like, oh, we gotta live and die by this guy. So I think it's such a young coaching staff. It's such a kind of a rebuild. It's just like you said, you want to get like the culture built and everything. And if it's Tyrod Taylor that's going to give you the best chance to win, I think you kind of roll with the guy who's going to give you the best chance.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. And I kind of wonder what the battle was like in training camp and then all that coming leading up to this, because it does kind of look like even when they were down in the first half, it kind of seemed like they looked a little better
Mhm.
still with Tyrod Taylor. It seemed like he's able to find his targets better. I mean, excluding the Steelers game where Fields did look pretty good.
Yeah.
And that looked good. But, week 2 against the Bills was just nothing. I mean,
Right.
that was terrible. And so, I mean, I guess out of the 2 games where they looked decent in, I'd probably say I'd go with Tyrod as well.
Mhm.
Well, and you could also try Justin Fields a kick return. I mean, the Steelers tried it, so
Yeah, might as well.
didn't look
Yeah.
terrible.
He's probably your most explosive player, to be honest with you. I guess besides Garrett Wilson, but you're not
Mhm.
going to put didn't they just give him a big contract in the offseason?
Yeah,
I think they
Yeah, you're not going to do that.
they paid him
Throw
well.
Fields back there if you're not going to play him at quarterback.
Right.
Well,
See
the
what he
biggest
can
thing
do.
that makes him a good receiver is damn good hands. He's not like super explosive anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah,
Fields is still probably your most explosive
Mhm.
player.
that would be funny if they did that.
That would be pretty crazy. Yeah, it was a good game. It's crazy the blocked field goals this weekend, and then that one kind of culminating in the touchdown where I was like, wow, they're going to win that game. Nope, Baker
Yeah.
comes back. Hell of a game. A lot of fun. Yeah, and I mean, bad thing is I think Mike Evans is down. He's doubtful for this next week. He might be out a couple of weeks, and they're already without
I think is Godwin.
Godwin's
questionable.
He's questionable. So you're
Yeah.
kind of wondering. It seems like questionable now is more like teams are just playing doing gamesmanship with
Mhm.
questionable, because especially the Niners, they're like
Right.
questionable up until, and then they're like, oh yeah, no. Then 3 weeks later, he's finally back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you don't know what that is. But Godwin took a bad injury last year, so if he does come back, that'll help. But if not, then if you have Egbuka in fantasy, Emeka Egbuka wide receiver, which I do, then you better play him
good
if
on
these
you,
guys
yeah.
aren't coming out, because
right.
they're going to need that guy. So
Well, you might want to play him. He did get his ass chewed by Mayfield. So have you seen that clip?
I haven't, no.
He caught that one-handed pass, hell of a pass, hell of a catch. And Big Mayfield comes to the sidelines. He's like, "You disrespectful my pass like that again. We're gonna have a problem, Rook. Use 2 hands."
that's awesome.
Well, I mean, especially with the Bucks, they're 3-0 without Tristan Wirfs, and I think that was one of the talking points I had in the right before the season started was just like how the Bucks gonna manage without Chris Godwin, Tristan Wirfs, who we think is one of the top tackles in the league, and it looks like everything's kind of pointing for them to be either 3-1 or 4-0 for those guys to come back healthy. So good on
Right.
them.
Heck yeah. Yeah, they weathered that
They
storm.
did, yep.
And it wasn't terrible teams that they were playing. I mean, teams that were supposed to be good.
Right,
I
yeah.
mean, the Texans are supposed to be pretty decent,
Yeah,
so
Falcons. They
being-
battled out against the Falcons.
Yep. But then the Falcons, like you said, got blanked.
Right.
So you're like, what are we looking at? It's just a weird division.
It is.
Okay, but yeah, let's go into our underreaction, which, speaking of the Falcons, I'll start. I think there's an underreaction of the Falcons getting blanked by the Panthers. That was my underreaction. I don't think enough people are talking about how, bad that got for them in that game. Shit
Mhm.
happens. But I don't know, man. They might be in a little bit of trouble there because I think the Panthers might have figured something out on their offense, and they were able to get pressure, which the Panthers haven't been able to get pressure. This
Yeah.
was the 31st worst defense or 32nd worst defense.
Mhm.
The worst defense at 31 points is what I was trying to say. And now they're blanking the Falcons, who actually have a really good offense with Bijan and everybody they have, London,
Yep.
Michael Penix. And so I think that maybe they're not as good as what, people thought they
Right.
were going to be coming in. So I think there's an underreaction to it. I just haven't seen enough on that where people aren't kind of, there should be
Mhm.
maybe hitting a little bit of a button there, so should be
Yeah.
looking for something.
Yeah. My underreaction is going to be the Niners, home team or favorite team. But it's just, they're barely 3-0. A lot of people are looking at the fact that they're just squeaking out 3-0. But you look at the injuries they have, and yeah, we have more injuries coming now. But once this offense comes back healthy,
Mhm.
our defense is making it work. And although it's supposed to be the worst strength of schedule, it really hasn't been. I mean, the Cardinals have been playing well, and the
Yeah.
Seahawks have been playing well. The Saints should have been a free win.
Mhm.
But, I mean, really, I think we've had two tough games. And, I mean, they're 3-0, and they're just squeaking it out. And they've had their backup quarterback in for the last two.
Yep.
And, I mean, I think there's a lot of potential with this Niners team.
Yeah.
Even with how hurt they are. And the last two times they started 3-0, they made the Super Bowl. So
I like it.
I like that too. My underreaction is, especially just for this week, how many backup quarterbacks came in for teams, and the teams almost, I dare say, looked better. That didn't seem like much of a talking point. The Vikings, obviously, Isaiah Rodgers kind of took over that game by what he did, but they won 48-10 with Carson Wentz as
Yeah.
their quarterback. That might be his first win as a starter in, I don't know, 3-4 years. I don't
Yeah.
know. And then another one was the Commanders with Marcus Mariota. So that was like the reason behind my picks of picking the Raiders and the Bengals was just like, oh, Carson Wentz is starting for the Vikings.
Right.
They don't look good already, and now they're starting Carson Wentz. And obviously Jake Browning is starting for him, but Jake Browning has a history of starting like 9 games 2 years ago when Burrow went out, and I thought he played really
He
well.
did decent. Yeah.
And he's leading the league in interceptions in 4 quarters or 5 quarters played. It's just like,
Right.
what the hell is going on? And then obviously Mac Jones playing for the San Francisco 49ers and keeping them at 3-0. I think he's just playing well. I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell that he's a backup quarterback with some of the throws that he's making. That 4th and 2 that he threw to Ricky Pearsall on the sideline,
Yeah.
that was a gutsy throw and call, and everything is just so. Underreaction is just like all these backup quarterbacks coming in, and these teams kind of maybe not so much the Niners. I don't think the Niners look better with Jones, but it just doesn't seem like they're missing a beat. But as far as the Commanders and
Vikings looked way
Vikings,
better.
yeah. So I was
And-
like, huh,
I mean, granted, their defense went nuts. That Isaiah
Right, that's true,
Rodgers
yeah.
just tore it up.
right.
I think Tristan had 50 points for them on
Yeah.
on
It was crazy.
fantasy, and that was the only reason he won that game too.
Yep.
yeah, I say Rodgers really carried that team there. But, I mean, both quarterbacks in that game threw
Yeah.
70% completion percentage.
Yeah,
Both Drake Browning
Yeah,
and
right.
so that's really good.
It is.
Um,
I would go.
two of the 8 completions for Jake Browning were not actually incompletions. They were caught by the wrong team. So
yeah.
that was the real big game
Yeah.
changer. But I mean, Isaiah Rodgers just made a really good read on the one interception. That
Mhm.
one pick six
punched
and,
it out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just that play happens. You have to be a top 10 quarterback to not see somebody try and make that read.
Right.
So it was just really good play. So I don't hate Jake Browning on that game either too much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we didn't talk about that game hardly at all, but man, that was wild.
Yeah.
They beat the hell out of that defense. Looked like the defense we thought it was going to be.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I guess
But-
like that point there is with the
With the
staying on
backup
trend of the backup
quarterbacks.
I mean,
Yeah.
they both did solid.
Right.
Other
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Jake
2
Browning
interceptions.
has done really well, so it'll be kind of interesting to see where they're going to go with him.
Mhm.
So
yeah,
yeah,
he's
but I was
gonna
just
get shit on again. But
yeah, I think this one's going to be a rough one. Okay, so my overreaction is the Steelers beating the Patriots. People were talking about how good the Steelers were. They got to win, Aaron Rodgers, all that. I haven't seen a lot on it, but I have seen that. And that's ridiculous because the Patriots had 4 lost fumbles and 1 interception, and they still only lost by a touchdown. So the Steelers are in trouble. I don't think this team. They're getting the Aaron Rodgers effect, man.
Yep.
And this defense is just ridiculous. I know it looked good, but that they got these 4 fumbles, all that. But those guys hold on to that ball. I think this game is probably going to be a 31-10 win for the Patriots.
Yep.
Seriously, they looked good moving the ball, but they just couldn't hold on to it.
Yep.
Which I'll give them props for the Steelers for doing the turnovers, but still, most guys hold on to the freaking ball, and you're not going to get 4 fumbles usually in a game.
Yep.
So my overreaction is to the Steelers beating the Patriots, and I still think the Patriots have a pretty good squad. I just think they kind of need to go away from Ramondre and put in Travion a little bit more, get that guy rolling. So
cool. My overreaction is the Packers loss. See a lot of stuff. It's like, well, the Packers just don't like to finish games. The Packers. I seen one that was kind of a it was more satire than real, but he's sitting there talking. He's like, so what happened here is Matthew Golden, his buddy asked him on fantasy. So it's like, we're already going to win, so I'll just step out of bounds to take the green grass to not give up the points. Then one for Jordan Love too, where he threw his pick, and it's like, well, we're already going to win. My defense will hold him, so I'm just going to throw this pick to lose the points.
Right.
So it's like kind of satire, but it's like their offense didn't look good because it's the best defense in the league, not because their offense isn't good.
Yep.
So I've seen, I don't think the Packers really played down at all. I think they played at their level, and it's just that good of a defense.
yeah, I like that too because I was thinking when I saw the score on that, the Packers basically got what they were given or what they gave to the Lions in the first week. Only the Browns couldn't score that many points.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was
Right.
kind of akin. It was like, man, they were getting beat up.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Love got sacked 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. I think
Something
he
like
did,
that.
yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, my overreaction is going to be with probably the Chiefs. I think everybody every year we come to like the last 8 years since Patrick Mahomes has been the starter. And I even had him as my quarterback 1, and we were all really high on Andy Reid. Where I think the expectation is always just like, oh, the Chiefs are going to figure it out. The Chiefs are going to figure it out. But one of the things that we talked about in the offseason was, and what I was concerned about is they just don't have a running game. I mean, they wanted to run it back with Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, who aren't explosive at all.
mm-hmm.
And I think when you pay as much money as they have with Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith and that other tackle, because Trey Smith was their guard, and then the tackle on the other side. But anyway, I think they got one of the most expensive offensive lines. It's just like, and if you're not going to spend money on your receivers like they haven't, I mean, they're rolling out Tyquan Thornton and Juju Smith-Schuster, and
yeah,
you know what I mean. And 35-year-old Travis Kelce, who's not explosive anymore, he'll get you a 6 yards and pretty much it. But
yeah,
I'm
he's going down on first contact. Pretty much.
This
anymore.
might be the season where maybe the Chiefs don't figure it out. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
They don't have a running game. They're not
Yep.
explosive. I think they want to try to be explosive, but I think it's just you're seeing all these flaws of not having a solid number 1. Maybe it'll change when Rashid Rice and Xavier Worthy come back healthy, but I just think if they get in a situation where they have to grind out a game and your leading rusher on the season is Patrick Mahomes because you can't run in between the tackles and you're relying on Patrick Mahomes to work magic to scramble, I think they might be in a world of hurt this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the roster pulled up. You're thinking Taylor Jawan when they played. It's the tackle they played real well.
Yep.
And then they also spent a first-round pick this year on a left tackle
Josh
too.
Hammond,
So it's like other than Kingsley
Suamata
Tua, yeah. who was a second round pick last year.
Mhm.
So who knows how he's going to develop too. But they've invested so much in this line,
Yeah.
they just can't run because they don't
No.
have a running back.
No, they-
Like,
Yeah, and running backs are cheap nowadays, man.
They are. Yep.
Go get you a good running back.
Derrick Henry makes $12 million.
Yep.
Saquon makes $12.5 million.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
or
they're
they,
cheap.
I mean, you think about what the Vikings spent on Jordan Mason, who's a starter
Mhm.
for him this year, and how much better their running game would have been. The Chiefs with
Oh,
probably
dude.
Jordan Mason.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would
You know
be
what I mean?
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So one more thing before we move on to the picks, we didn't mention the Ravens game, which was Monday night, which
Yeah.
the Ravens Lions. And when I was talking about sacks earlier, dude, I cannot believe the Lions. They sacked Lamar Jackson 7 times.
Yeah.
holy
Seven
shit.
times. They spread it around too. I
Yeah.
think it was Anzalone, Adam, Aiden, Hutchinson. I mean, they really just spread
Mhm.
it around. It was 7 sacks. That was a crazy game. I've never seen Lamar Jackson get like wrangled up like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a crazy game too. That almost was one I was gonna pick, but it was like, nah, man. You know, they didn't have any last minute heroics or anything aside from beating you in fantasy.
Yeah, that's true.
So, all right. So going on to our picks, we're gonna go with ours real quick. Last week,
Jared sucked ass.
Jared came
He
up
did,
in
yep.
last place. He was 8-8. That was ugly. Kind of a tough week. A lot of bad losses there. Me and Gage both went 10-6. So we gained a little ground on Jared there, but overall, Jared is 32-16. I'm 32-16. So we got a tie there. Gage is behind now, only by 3 at 29-19.
Okay, there you go. Creeping up, Gage.
So yeah, we'll get there. We're having some fun with that.
God, Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
That's all I got to say.
I
About
blame mine
Russell
on
Wilson.
freaking Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Was I the only one to pick the Rams?
I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple where you were the only one. I think you. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, there was a couple where you lost bad like
Yeah,
that.
during
but-
that last episode, I was reading off your pick after my pick, and I'm sitting there and it's like,
Yep. I
we
remember
get done
hearing that.
recording.
Yeah.
It's like, either me or Jared's going to do good this week.
Yep.
They can't be
I know
both.
it was you.
You can't be both.
All right. And so with our listener picks, we did have 10 people this week. So right on, we are going to be able to pay somebody. You guys did it. You got your friends involved. You got the people involved. Keep it up. Right now we're sitting at 9 for this week already, but let's go in to see who won. It was Quentin LaBelle who won it. He went 13-3 on a tough
Nice,
week
yeah.
to pick him too.
Good on you, man. That's awesome.
13-3. Him and Missy both went 13-3, and Quentin won it in a tiebreaker. Missy, I don't know what you're doing. You need to start picking your own lotto numbers or something because you were just tearing it up.
I need
at
to
this.
start looking at Missy's picks and just copying them.
Yeah, we're just gonna steal from her. She did really good, but let's not take away from Quentin.
Yep,
So
good
Quentin,
job.
get a hold of us. Message us from Facebook. Use the messenger. Get a hold of us on Podbean. Just throw us a message out telling us that you heard this, and we'll get you your $25. Just let us know where to put it, send it to, do what we need to do. So good job, Quentin.
Yeah.
And now we're going into our week picks for this week. So
Cool. I'll get it started off. Thursday game tomorrow night. It's going to be a good one. Debut of the NFL rivalry.
Nice, yeah.
Cardinals is a pretty good looking jersey. The Seahawks ain't too bad.
you're like cutting out. Maybe hold the mic instead of the cord. I don't know what's going on there. Seems like every time you start holding that cord, maybe it's wobbling. But
Yeah, that could be it.
Oh, there you go.
Okay,
That sounds
cool.
better.
Yeah, so debut NFL rivalry. Seahawks Cardinals, both decent jerseys. Not the best rivalries, but I take the Seahawks in this one, 28-17.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think the Seahawks defense is just playing at another level. I'm glad the Niners played them week 1 because I
Mhm.
think their defense is just rolling right now. I think Sam Darnold's kind of getting a little bit more comfortable with that offensive coordinator. I got Seattle 27, Arizona 13.
yeah, so they got Seattle by only 1.5. I think that's kind of crazy. I know the Cards haven't looked terrible by any means, and I know they're at home, but I like the Seahawks a lot in this game. I got it 27-17.
Cool. Next game, it's the Vikings and the Steelers. And I think this one's going to be kind of close. I got the Vikings taking it 24-17, though.
Yeah, this one for me, I don't know. Maybe Carson Wentz comes back to reality, but I have it close as well. I got the Pittsburgh Steelers winning it in the end. I got Minnesota 21, Pittsburgh 23.
Okay. They got Minnesota by 2.5, so I think we all agree that a close game, like they're saying. I totally agree. I fought with this one. I don't like Aaron Rodgers. That ended up being that I think that he's going to kind of blow it at the end.
Yeah.
And so I like the Vikings. I think it's going to be 21-17, but it could
Yeah.
be a reverse score too. But I do think
Isaiah Rodgers is going to pick them off and score a touchdown, probably.
Isaiah, yep. Rodgers on
Yep.
Rodgers violence.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Next game I got is Titans Texans. This is kind of the toilet bowl so far this year. One of the two toilet bowl games we got this year or this week, and I'm taking the Titans 31-21. It's gonna be the most impressive game by Cam Ward so far.
Yeah, I like that. Houston to me is just. I think they still got a really good defense. I was just looking it up before this podcast started, and they still have a top 7 defense. It's kind of been kind of obvious in the games that they've played. I think the Buccaneers scored on the last second touchdown to score 20 points, and then they've held the Rams to 14, and then last week they lost 10-17 to the. I can't remember who they
Jaguars.
Was it Jaguars?
Yep.
So this is going to be low scoring. I think maybe Houston's defense or offense can actually score some points against this Tennessee offense, but I got Houston winning 24-14.
Okay, they got Houston by 7.5, which I think is kind of a big spread considering.
Yeah.
I do think that Texans still has on paper is a way better team, but they haven't been showing it. I do like them to win this game, but I see more of a low scoring game here. I think it's going to be kind of ugly. I think it's going to be 13-10 Texans.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm the only one taking the Titans.
You are,
huh?
yeah.
Yes, sir. But they're going to get
I
a
like
win
that.
eventually.
They are, yeah.
It
It could be this one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is the Eagles at the Bucks, and I have the score being kind of close, but I think it's just going to be like a fourth quarter pity points for the Bucks, and I'm taking the Eagles 35-29.
Oh, I like that. I like this game. This might be, game of the week matchup or potential in this one. 2-3-0 teams. Two teams that Buccaneers have actually played the Philadelphia Eagles really well the last couple times that they've played them. So I think this one's going to be close. I just think Philadelphia has too much firepower. I think it's going to be 23-21 Philadelphia.
Okay, they've got Philly by 3.5. I kind of agree with that. I have it more of a spread than that for the Eagles, but I could see why they're doing that. The Bucks are just there at the end of games, like we talked about. But I like the Eagles 28-20, and I just think that I just don't trust the Bucks defense, and the Eagles can grind it out better than most other teams. So.
Depends if Hurts wants to throw it down the field or not this game.
Right.
Yep. Okay, this next one, this is my prediction for game of the week, and it's going to be Panthers at Patriots. I got the Patriots taking it 27-24.
So this one might be my game of the week too, just as close as the score as I got. I got this one close too. I got the Patriots winning 21-20.
Okay, they've got New England by 5.5.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it seems a little bit big to me because the Panthers looked so good last week. But I do like the Patriots to win it, and I have it also written on the side of my sheet, game of the week, 35-31, which me and Gage, before you got here, that's what I was like. He said that might be my game of the week. And I go, which one is it? I bet the same as mine. And then we did the 1, 2, 3, and we called the same
Oh,
game.
nice.
So,
Okay, that's awesome.
so, so we all kind of like that game. That matchup seems pretty good. Both teams that should be doing pretty well, should be on their way up. Probably not necessarily playoff teams, but working their way towards it. So I like that matchup.
Cool. Next game I got is the Chargers at Giants. And, I picked the Giants last week against the Chiefs. Well, the Chargers beat the Chiefs. So, of course, I think that Chargers are doing better than the Chiefs. And the Giants, we'll have to see with Jackson Dart. His first start is against a tough defense.
Yeah, I
really.
agree.
The Chargers have a good defense, so I think it's going to be a rough one for them, and I think it's going to be 28-0.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I thought the same thing going into this game. I thought, even if Russell Wilson was playing, but Jackson Dart, this is going to be a tough defense for him to start against. I got the Chargers winning 30-17.
Okay. I like the Chargers here. They got LA by 6.5. Actually, that's a little short. I think they could probably go a little bigger.
Yeah.
And I was surprised by that. But last week I was surprised by, the Bears and the Cowboys, and the Bears shellacked the Cowboys. So maybe they know what they're doing a little bit down there in Vegas. But I like the Chargers 30-13. I don't think the Giants are going to get a whole lot done.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Next game I got is the Saints and the Bills, and I'm not going to say the B word this time, but the Bills are going to win it in good fashion, 34-13.
You're not going to say the what?
The B word. Semis do it, football teams do it. Just not going to say it because last time I said it, they ended it in a close game. So
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I got this one pretty close to your score too. I got Buffalo 31, New Orleans 17. I think that Buffalo's just a different class than they are.
Yeah, so this is probably the biggest point spread I've seen. since we've been doing this, and I've been looking at that. They got Buffalo by 15.5.
Ooh, that might be. Holy cow.
Which, I mean, I've got them winning by 22, so I guess I see it. I like Buffalo 42-20. I think it's going to be kind of like that Jets game, where I think Allen's going to probably have a couple of early touchdowns, maybe, but then it's going to be all the running game, all James Cook, all different players getting it done, because they're just not, he's just not going to have to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he might, because Granderson's kind of a dog, but they might have to pass.
Check your mic again.
Should bugging out again?
Yep, that sounds better.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Usually this is the good one.
Yeah, you got to quit playing. You can't hold it by the cord, man.
Yeah, keep playing with it.
Yeah.
Cool, on to the next. Got Commanders at Falcons next. And I'm going to take Washington in this one, 35-13.
I got this one,
Big
actually.
one, huh?
Yeah, I got this one kind of close. I'm not sure if Mariota's playing again. I guess I didn't do my research on that.
Yeah, they still got Jaden Daniels is questionable.
Do they? Okay.
So.
I think for some reason, I don't know why I did this, but I got Atlanta bouncing back, and I got them winning another 1-point game, 28-27.
Oh, I like that. Okay. I had a hard time with this one as well because I don't know how the Falcons are going to respond to getting beat up. They got Washington by 1.5. I know the Commanders did really well with Mariota, and you pointed that out earlier. I don't think they're going to click that well again, but I still have the Commanders winning 23-20, and I have it closer, and you had it a blowout, but I have it a lot closer now. I mean, if you go off of what happened last week, you're probably right.
Yeah.
But
and one thing to include, Jaden Daniels is likely to return for this game. So that, I mean, Mariota played well, but he's no Jaden Daniels.
No.
So that should change a few things.
Yeah, I'll go Commanders.
I'm sticking with it, I guess.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I'll go Commanders either way, but I could see a world where the Falcons actually play as good as what they did a couple of weeks there until they met the mighty Panthers.
Right. Yeah, we're still like in the point of the season. We have no idea what the hell's going to happen in these games.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair. Next game is Browns versus Lions, and I mean, the one time I bet against the Browns, it bit me in the ass. So take the Browns in this defense.
Okay.
17-13.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they beat a good team last week.
This one was tough to me because I really like Cleveland's defense that keeps them in games. But I think just watching that Monday night game, because that was the one game that I did kind of get to watch, Detroit's offense is just clicking on all levels. And, we always thought that the Ravens defense was a little bit better than, coming into the season than what they've been playing, but it's still a pretty good defense, and they were doing whatever the heck they wanted. Amon was doing whatever he wanted. It seemed like Jared Goff was kind of getting the ball wherever he wanted. It looked like Montgomery kind of took over. Gibbs can take over a game whenever he wants to. So I got this one 27-17, Detroit.
Okay. They got Detroit by 9.5, which, I guess I kind of understand it just because of the Browns offense, but I mean, their defense is holding teams, pretty sure
they are
pretty good, know. So I think the Ravens kind of beat them up a little bit, but other than that, I like the Lions here. I like it only a 10-point game, as you said too, Jared. If they had a better offense, I might give them a little bit of a chance, but they can't get it done. I'm going 20-10 Lions.
Yeah.
But I do think that the Lions will be held in check more than what they were, last couple weeks. So
cool. Next one is the Colts and Rams, and I would say this is probably the Colts' first real test of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Rams have been playing good, and I'm buying in with the Colts. I'm taking the Colts on this one, 35-28.
Yeah, this one was probably the toughest game for me because it's like, man, the Colts are rolling. I don't know how the Rams are going to respond after taking a huge loss like they did because they were up so big against the Eagles, and you don't know about the emotional swing that's going to happen. But I trust Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford to kind of bounce back. So I got them winning a close game, 28-24.
28-24 Rams.
Mhm.
Okay. They got LA by 3.5. I think they're giving the Colts a lot of props for what they've done so far. But I think this is where it ends for their start. And we're going to find out, like Gage says, if they're really good. I think it's cool that you took them. They have looked really good, and they've been able to run the ball. But I think the Rams are going to just probably take it to them for most of the game. But I still only have it by 10. I got 27-17 Rams.
Oh, wow. I think I'm going to be all in on the Colts this year until, if Jonathan Taylor goes down, I think that will be when I finally I'm not all in on him. Because
they're definitely a hell of a lot better so far than I thought they'd be.
Yeah. Okay, next game is the Jags versus Niners. Um, the Jags look better than I thought they would have so far, and Travis Hunter's looked better than I thought he would. So I mean, I want to give him credit, but I think with the Brock Purdy return game, I think it's going to be a good win, and think the Niners are finally going to show that they're not just going to squeak it out every week. I think they're going to come out, and I think they're going to win it 31-14.
Yeah, I would be a little bit more. Obviously losing Nick Bosa is a huge deal, but I would be more concerned if Robert Saleh wasn't there. I think he's gotten Mikael Williams and Alfred Collins and even like C.J. West playing really well. I think they're getting better every week. Bryce Huff has played well. I know he's not the run defender that Nick Bosa is, but when he comes in and pass rushes, man, look out.
Right.
So I really like it. I'm not as worried as I would be, like I said, if Robert Saleh wasn't there. But I think the Niners with Brock Purdy coming back, I think he kind of makes their offense that little bit much better. So I got them winning 27-17.
Okay. They've got the Niners by 3.5, which is okay. I mean, the Niners haven't looked great. They have struggled. But I kind of agree with Gage. I think that the Niners are going to jump up kind of early. I still am kind of concerned about the offense a little bit, but we're going to go 20-13 49ers.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
And the defense, I'd be far more concerned if it was Fred Warner who went down.
I think so too.
Than Bosa.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah, the star players that could have gone down. I don't know if you consider Jair a star, but I think he is too. And I think Bosa out of like the 3 or 4 guys we could have lost was probably the best option. If you made me choose, I probably would have chose him. But I mean, the biggest thing to give me confidence, why I'm not worried about the offense, is Jake Tonjes just filled in for George Kittle.
Oh, he looks like
near perfectly.
Yeah, heck yeah, I like that.
Done well.
Yeah, next game is going to be Bears versus Raiders, and I mean, Cowboys are just bad. We've noticed that so far, but they had a really good win. Probably gave them some confidence, and I think I'm taking the Bears in this one, 17-10.
Yeah. I agree. I think the Bears looked a lot better. Vegas just looks bad. I don't know. I can't figure out the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah,
to be honest with you,
the Las Vegas Raiders have the worst O-line in the league.
Yeah.
That's what I'm putting it at.
I mean, we kind of talked about it. I think during our pre-draft show or during our draft show, because I had him picking Membu, and it was just like, dude, I mean, I get the Genty pick, but I mean, he doesn't have an offensive line, so I would more likely take the offensive lineman, which I don't know if they would do it in hindsight if they would go back and rather take Membu or not, but it's not reaping the benefits of drafting Genty when you don't have an offensive line.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good, but he ain't no Barry Sanders.
I think I like Chicago. I think I kind of like the way that Caleb Williams is playing. I think he's kind of being a little bit more comfortable in a Ben Johnson offense, and those, you got DJ Moore and Roma Dunze, and some of those playmakers around him are looking a little bit better. So I got the Chicago Bears 27, Raiders 24.
Okay. They got Chicago by 1.5. This was one of the games I was looking at for possibly game of the week as well, just because I could see these teams kind of just grinding it out against each other a little bit. I didn't know I had a hard time picking it, so I just ended up going with the home team on this one, and I went the Raiders 24-21.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a close game.
Okay.
But the Bears, I am starting to like, you said, what they're doing. So
yeah, okay. Next game is Ravens Chiefs, and I think the Chiefs are going to be back down the road now. And they played the Giants again, so I think they're back down the road, and I think they're losing 35-20 to the Ravens.
Yeah, I got the Ravens as well. I even have it kind of close. I got a 7-point game, but I can even see Kansas City getting like a cheap touchdown in the end to make it closer than what it really is. I just don't like Kansas City's run game, and I think that's where you can kind of get Baltimore is kind of in the run game. But I mean, they don't have a run game, so I'm not too worried about Juju Smith-Schuster and Tyquan Thornton catches passes.
Yeah.
I got Baltimore winning 30-23.
What was that? 38?
30-23.
30-23. Yep. The dog decided to chime in right when he said that.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, they got Baltimore by 2.5. I'm okay with that to a point. I thought it'd be a little bit more for the Ravens. I just think that overall they've just looked better. Mm-hmm. But I like the Ravens. I think, like you said, I think it'll be one of those garbage touchdowns. But I got it 28-23. So 28-23 Ravens.
Cool. Next game I got is the Packers versus Cowboys. I'm taking the Packers in this one, 35-27. Only reason I don't have it being a bigger spread is the Cowboys know how to put up points. They aren't doing it every game, but they can put up points. So, and it's a division rival, so
Yeah.
that always makes for good games.
Yeah, I got this one a little bit
A
bigger.
conference rival.
Conference rival.
Conference rival, yeah.
Bigger spread, just because I don't think CD Lamb's going to play. I thought he had a high ankle sprain, so that kind of concerns me if he doesn't play. So I'm kind of banking on him not playing. The Packers do still have, it's early, only 3 weeks into the season, but they still have the number one defense. They only gave up 13 points to the Browns. They ended up losing, but still only 13 points. Their offense couldn't figure it out, but I think their offense is going to figure out against this defense. This is one of the worst defenses in the league. So I got Packers 31, Dallas 14.
Okay, they got Green Bay by 6.5. And again, I said it last week. I thought the Cowboys should have been favored, but this week I think the Packers should be favored by more. I could see a 10-point spread here even. I think, Packers hit a buzzsaw in the Browns last week. And the Browns just played it perfectly. They had a hell of a game. But the Cowboys aren't going to do that. I like the Packers 38-20. I'm pretty much all out on the Cowboys right now. They're going to have to show me something way different because their offense wasn't great. Dak Prescott didn't perform well last week. They didn't really have anything going on. And once CeeDee Lamb went down, they couldn't find George Pickens. They couldn't find these other guys they have. They even have a good tight end in Ferguson. They're just not getting it done. And I thought their run game was getting it together, but they couldn't even do that last week either. So
cool. Next one, this is the other toilet bowl I was referring to with the Jets versus Dolphins. It's one of the Monday night games. I don't know why you schedule these two teams for Monday night start of the season, but I guess they got a primetime game, and I got this one 24-21 in the Dolphins' favor. But it's just going to be
somebody's got to win this game, and I thought the same thing. I was like, man, if Miami's going to win a game, this might be a perfect opportunity for them. So I got them winning 26-24.
We all have this really close game. They have Miami by 2.5. I'm fine with that spread right there. It could be a 21-19 game.
I'm not fine with that at all. It should be a 1.5 or
0.5. It was a tough pick.
Just a pick 'em game.
I got the Dolphins as well, and only just because of how well they actually did play the Bills up until Tua couldn't do it no more. I don't think he's going to have to do it at the end. I think the Jets are going to blow it out, blow the chance to win the game at the end. So I like the Dolphins, same score, 24-21 that Gage had. So
cool. I just put it for the after saying it should be a different spread. I guess I do have that 2.5 point spread.
I was
right
like,
there.
But I was kind of
so do I. I mean, I have a 2-point game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I just put it that way so it looks more fancy. I don't know how you pull off like 24-22 is a weird one. 23-21 is a weird one. So
21-20.
Yeah, but last Monday night game, I'm kind of excited to watch this one. They're gonna have to see a lot out of the Broncos defense here. I think both defenses will be tested pretty well, and I just don't think the Bengals defense is up for a challenge here, and I think they're gonna lose 28-14 to the Broncos.
Yeah, I have a big spread too. I think this is going to be the first game that Denver's offense can kind of take off. Cincinnati's defense just isn't great. Jake Browning might give Patrick Surtain a chance or two to get an interception, or Hufanga might get a chance to get a little interception in there too. I got Denver winning big too, 34-17.
Yeah, they got Denver by 7.5, and that doesn't surprise me. That's pretty good. The Bengals are struggling. They looked like hell last week. They couldn't get anything going. I do think that their defense is going to get after Knicks a little bit. It feels like that teams have been able to do that, but I don't think it's going to matter. I still like the Broncos. I think the Broncos are still going to win big. 31-10 is what I have Broncos. So okay, so that's our last game. That is the game that you will be doing your score.
Total points.
Yeah, total points for the tiebreaker, and it mattered. It mattered this week. So if one of those people didn't put on points, if Quentin didn't put it on there and Missy did, we would have had to go with that. So make sure you put on your total points for the last game this week. It will be Bengals, Broncos. And do remember that the Vikings-Steelers game starts at 7. So if you are going to try to put in, you've been waiting till Sunday, let's make sure you get those in on Saturday night, because our time that we are going to quit taking them is the start of the Sunday games, and that game starts at 7. So as soon as that game kicks off, we're no longer taking your picks. So good job.
Dog's trying to jack some stuff up. Cool. So with that out of the way, I was just thinking, seeing a lot of posts today about some stuff that could happen. Did you jack everything up?
No.
Okay. Just seeing some stuff that can happen around the league. What do you guys think for trades that could happen at this point in the year?
Honestly, I think that kind of depends on especially. I was going to say something earlier too. What happens this week? So if the Niners go out and they get beat this week, and they're not able to get pressure on like Trevor Lawrence at all. I think the Niners are going to go big on a defensive end, on a pass rusher. So I think it kind of depends. And I think you got teams like Bengals. If the Browning comes out and looks like crap again, I think the Bengals are going to be searching for a quarterback because they should be all in. They have everything else.
Okay, so I really, really love where you started out that talk for because I seen a trade rumor. Sitting out here eating dinner with you guys, seen a trade rumor on Instagram. Mac Jones and a pick, whatever the Bengals wanted for Trey Hendrickson.
Oh, you did see a rumor?
Yep. Huh. What do you think about that one?
That one kind of scares me just because of Brock Purdy already kind of getting hurt. You know what I mean? And then
that's what I'm thinking. If it's available for week 6, and that's what I commented on the post too. If it's available week 6, that's when Curtis Rourke is available to come back.
Oh, is he from his torn ACL?
Yeah. So we'll have our rookie quarterback back to be a backup. So I'm thinking we could make that trade week 6. I would love it.
Yeah. I kind of go. I've seen the Trey Hendrickson to the Niners one quite a bit too. The one that I have seen, and bringing up the Bengals, is with Joe Burrow pretty much almost being done for the rest of the year. If Cincinnati kind of gets in a lull, the one that I have seen is Kirk Cousins going to the Cincinnati Bengals.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah. That one kind of makes sense. Atlanta's paying him a lot of money to sit on his bench right now. So if you can kind of get some draft capital, because you did spend.
Can they afford that?
I don't.
With the Bengals?
Yeah,
they're going to have to restructure him if he goes there.
And one of the things that I have seen in the past is they'll make some sort of trade to where Atlanta would take like a lump sum of that salary to where they're only paying so much of it for that season, and then kind of give up some picks just because Atlanta did use a first-round pick on next year's first-round pick on getting that defensive end, James Pierce.
Oh yeah, James. Yep.
So maybe they're looking for some draft capital in the future to come back their way.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that thought process there. I'm trying to think of other quarterbacks that they could, possibly get if maybe the guy gets passed around so much, but if the Vikings end up going with JJ when he gets healthy again, maybe you see, Carson Wentz go there or something because that dude, I think he's already had a stint there, I believe. Right. But, he's a guy that gets passed around. His name goes all over. So I don't know. It'll be crazy to see.
So what about, this isn't a trade, but it's a useful backup. What if they bring back Bengals legend, Andy Dalton?
Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Is he still in the league? Is he somewhere? Is he with Carolina?
I bet you could call him up.
Yeah, probably.
Get him on the phone.
Right.
Yeah, but, I don't know, man.
I think it's tough for the Bengals situation because you've spent so much money on that offense to where like this was going to be the year to like try to get over that hump of getting into the playoffs. And they played really well once they got into the playoffs. It's just they need to get there first, and to have your $55 million quarterback go out in week 2, it's just like,
I mean, you got to protect the guy, man.
Yeah, but there's 2 target players I would have that aren't like gonna turn around the season for the Bengals, but I could see him going for. And I'm looking at Anthony Richardson because when the O-line lets everybody through, he can run away.
Yeah,
he'll get away from it. And then I was also looking at Jameis Winston because hey, it might not be accurate, but he'll get it down there to Jamar Chase.
True. That is true.
That is true. I didn't think of that. That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, good call. And that he doesn't. I don't know. I like it. Like it is crazy that Winston his stuff doesn't really relate to wins, but he might not have to. Like he just might be able to do just enough. So,
yeah, I mean, he has a cannon and he's going to launch it up there, and you have 2 wide receivers on that team that are very good when you just launch it up to him and give him a chance. So
okay. Well, yeah, no, that's awesome stuff to think about. We're going to find out a lot more about these teams this week. We're starting to get into where we're narrowing in on who's who and who's for real, who's not. So I think the week 4 to week 6 is when you start being like, all right, these guys just suck, or these guys are really good. So it'll be fun. Congratulations again to Quentin. Good job. Like I said, just give us a message. We'll get you your money. Let us know where to send it. And thanks for listening, guys.